What's up, everyone? Welcome to day 17 of my small account challenge of growing a $2,000 account using Charles Schwab as my broker. Today's a green day, but I fumbled a little bit on the one trade that I took. So one and done. That kept it simple today. Solid green day, so grateful for that. But the trade that I took, essentially what happened was we had a stock that had breaking news and immediately surged up and became the #1 leading gainer in the entire market, making it obvious. So as it did its first pullback, I didn't jump in because I wasn't too sure about it yet. But as it did the second micro pullback, I punched it. But in just the seconds between when I pressed the buy button and when the order was received by the market and then when it was executed, the stock was squeezing. So I ended up getting some slippage on that entry, which means I got filled at a higher price than I wanted. As soon as I realized that, I was like, ooh, uh-oh. If this thing keeps going, I better just get out right away. Because the problem with that extra slippage is that it throws off my risk to reward ratio, right? My profit to loss ratio. So now instead of risking 15 cents, because I got 15 cents a slippage, or actually it's closer to 20 cents a slippage, now I'm risking like 35, 40 cents a share. So to get a 2-to-1 profit to loss ratio, I now need to make 80 cents a share, which although is not impossible, is a much bigger ask. And so the second it starts to look a little iffy, I got to get out because now I know I'm in a little too high. And if it does flush down quickly, that could be a problem. So we'll break down that trade as we get into the recap. As always, all of the profits from these small account challenges are getting donated to charity. We have now raised over $357,000. And today I donated $5,000 to the Children's Mercy Hospital in Kansas City. So we have now donated $367,500, which means I'm a little bit ahead on the donations versus how much money I've made in this challenge. But I'm giving you guys a chance to help me add to how much I'm donating because every time you hit the thumbs up on the episodes in the series, I add an extra $1 from my own pocket of how much we're giving away to these hospitals. So the goal is to raise money for 50 children's hospitals across the United States. Okay, so day 17, coming in this morning, there was nothing obvious until V-Rax hit the scanner. When V-Rax hit the scanner, that became the obvious stock right here. But until then, none of this was interesting at all. PMA, yeah, it's got 14 million shares of volume. It's a little cheap. RPGL, a little cheap. It's got some volume, but it was only up 30%. SDOT, not a lot of volume and a little higher priced. But when V-Rax came out suddenly with news, it was like, okay, this is game time. So it hits the scanner down here at about $3.41, and that was 15 seconds after the news came out. So the news came out, and then what happens? Immediately, some algorithms, and maybe some traders who were even faster than I was in seeing the news, jump in the stock immediately. So instantly, it starts popping up. Now, the fact is, it was only on 37,000 shares of volume. So it's very light volume all the way up to 398 and then up to 472 and up to 533. So it starts moving. Volume is increasing. As the total volume goes up, so does the relative volume, which is good. And we see that we've got this headline right here. Medical diagnostics and screening, healthcare sector, okay, foreign company. We have traded this one before in the past. And so this is the chart initially. It pops up here, pulls back, pops up a second time, pulls back. And as it pulls away right here, I decide to jump in on the micro pullback for the break of 6. But I end up getting filled at about 6:30, which was higher than I wanted to get filled. So that was just the combination of me maybe pressing the button a little slow, Thinkorswim being a little slow, and the market moving quickly. However, I was able to lock up $2,262.35, which is a really solid profit. That's a 10% return in one day, which is pretty much my goal for the small account challenge, 10% in one day. So I had $20,000 in the account to start the day. Now I've got $22,867, which means the account today just crossed over 1,000% return. From 2,000 to 22,000, I'm up 20 grand in profit, a little over 20 grand. So that's a 1,000% return. It's taken 40 trades to do it with 77% accuracy and the average winners of $521. But before we stop there, let's take a look at V-Rax because it continued higher, which is great to see. So the stock is currently up 236% after peaking a little over 250%. I did end up trading in my big account, so I'll have a recap for the big account later today as well. But essentially what happened was we had this initial pop right through here, which represented the first trades. And so this was that little micro pullback at 6 that went up to a high of 750. Then it pulls back, and in this area, it was pretty choppy. It was a little heavy. It was just sort of didn't want to really pull away. And then finally right here, it pops up, and boom, we got this squeeze up to 824. And then again, it's kind of choppy, pops up, rejects back down. Pops up a little bit, rejects back down, sort of pulling back, tries to come up again, rejects back down, tries again, and now it's a double top with the previous high. Pulls back, can't really hold over that level. It's sort of like pulls away a teeny bit, but not in a meaningful way, drops back down, and then it comes back up again, and then big rejection right there. And then as we get closer to the open, it comes back up again. You get this big breakout right here. And then we go up to 10, little pullback, all the way up to 12, nice. Then we dip down, we can't get higher right there. And then at the open, it kind of softens and we pop up, then we halt down, and now we're kind of in between. So, it might not have been the easiest stock that we've ever traded, but it did go up over 200% on breaking news, and that is nice to see. And even if I only trade, a little piece of it here and a little piece of it here, and I miss some of the move, that's okay. You're never going to get the perfect trade from the very bottom of the move to the very top of the move. You capture a little bit, you do as well as you can, and you live to trade another day. So I'll be back at it tomorrow for day 18. And those of you guys who have not already checked out my 2-week trial, the link is pinned to the top of the comments and posted in the description. And during that trial, not only do you get to watch as I grow the small account, you'll be able to hear my market commentary, but you also get access to this software right here for charting, scanning, and breaking news. So make sure you guys check it out. 2 weeks for $20. I think it's money well spent. I think you'll have a great time. If you decide to become a full-fledged member, we'd love that. But if not, no big deal. The $20, the trial doesn't auto enroll in anything. It's no commitment. It's 2 weeks and that's it. So check it out. But reminder as always, trading is risky. My results aren't typical. So please manage your risk and always practice in a simulator before putting real money on the line. I'll see you for day 18 tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. I'll be streaming.